I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. Saint Gregory was born in Nazianzus, Cappadocia, what is today Turkey. His father was a converted Jew who ended up being Bishop of Nazianzus, and he is known as Saint Gregory the Great. He belonged to a whole family of saints. Gregorio Nacianceno studied law in Athens. Among his fellow students was Saint Basil, who was a good friend. Gregory returned to Nacianceno at the age of 30, and having the possibility of being a successful lawyer or professor of rhetoric, he chose the life of a hermit to give himself to God and to charitable and intellectual work. Within a few years, he returned to assist his elderly father in the administration of the diocese. He was ordained a priest against his will by his own father in the year 362. At that time, he wrote an apology on the responsibilities of the priest. When his parents died, around the year 374, Gregory dedicated the vast fortune he had inherited to the poor, keeping only a small piece of land for himself. He continued to administer the diocese, and at the end of the next year, he returned to a monastery in Seleucia, living there in solitude. 4 years later, Theodosius was appointed Emperor of the East, and the Catholics who were there had been persecuted, appealed to Gregory to take the lead and organize them. After much hesitation, Gregory gave his consent and began his mission in a private house in Constantinople, which was converted into a chapel. Thanks to his eloquence and reputation for holiness, many began to meet, even heretics. In this chapel, he delivered the 5 wonderful discourses of the Nicene faith, explaining the doctrine of the Holy Trinity, saying that they were 3 persons in one God. These explanations led to the title of theologian. Now he and the apostle St. John were the only ones called theologians. This was very important, and this also caused him to be persecuted and heavily attacked, even in his own chapel. St. Jerome, the translator of the Bible, was one of those who became his disciple and tells how much he owed to his learned and eloquent teacher. Theodosius requested baptism in 380 and decided that Gregory should be a bishop in a new Catholic vision. The same emperor accompanied him to the great church of Hagia Sophia, where he was enthroned in the presence of an immense crowd, which manifested their great joy. As a result of this, Catholicism was adopted as the religion of the empire. Later, Emperor Theodosius summoned the Council of Constantinople. There, Gregory encountered much opposition, and knowing that he was continuously ill, resigned to return to his own home in Nasancio. There, he spent the remaining 6 years of his life in retirement and in literary work, which suited his character much more than the harassment of church administration work he had died. He died in Nasancio, and that is why he is called Saint Gregory Nacianceno, Doctor of the Eastern Church, whose works are based on poems, speeches, letters, and prayers to God, with the conviction that being faithful to God, he would reach heaven, his final destination, because he was convinced that with God we always win.